He's been a king for his lifetime. This is courtesy his parents who've named him Ledley King. On the football field, he's crafted a niche for himself and as the king of defense. Strikers struggle to breach past his defense. It has been a decade since he's decided to hang his boots, but his legacy still prevails, even as his club Tottenham Hotspur has been through numerous transitions. Hello and welcome. I'm Sunil Yashkalra and you're watching the Footcast Social. In the second episode, we bring to you the King of King himself, joining us from London, Ledley King. Welcome to the show, Ledley. Ledley, you've had a very troubled childhood. In your book, you've explained all the details of it. Just take our viewers through all the problems that you had while growing up.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, I grew up in a single parent home, which was my mum and really my younger brother. So I was the older sibling, and kind of along the way saw certain things that made me kind of want to really go out and do well for my mum and for my younger brother and kind of make the family proud. And luckily for me, I had football that I was able to follow as my dream, and really take that on and really try and use that as a tool to make my family very proud of me and try to be the best that I could be in that. So yeah, it was as a young kid, I saw some, growing up in a quite a tough area in London. I was quite lucky that I had good friends actually that
Lovely.
That kept me on the straight and narrow. No trouble as a kid. Just football. Football was my savior really, and that helped me along the way.
From the age of 14 to 40, Ledley, you've just been a single club man. It is very distinct considering that players step down and ensure that the checks keep rolling in month after month. Now, what is the kind of mindset you require to be in that zone?
Well, first and foremost, I've been at the club since I was 14. I came through the academy, made my way into the first team. Then was captain at the age of maybe 23, 24. Very proud to captain the club, and I was the type of player that wanted to take my club and try and win things with my club rather than to go somewhere else and win 3 or 4 trophies. I saw it as my duty to try and take my club to be as good as we could be. After retiring, it was made a lot easier because I was struggling with my knee. I knew that I probably, if I really wanted to, I could have forced playing if I really wanted to at whatever level. But for me, I always said when I got to the stage where I couldn't help my team anymore, then I would stop playing. And just before I retired, I got to the stage where I felt that the team was ready to go on without me. I didn't feel I was helping the team playing, and it was time to stop. And as we say, luckily for me, I've been at the club so long. I had a smooth transition into being an ambassador for the club now. So really made my life a lot easier.
Well, in today's time, not many players have that same kind of mindset or an attitude. Now, what goes inside a player's psyche to go and follow the same club through his lifetime?
Everyone's different. I was never a player that really worried about money or was concerned about money. My aim was always to be the best I could be, and the money would kind of take care of itself. If you make yourself as good as you can be, you'll be looked after, you'll be rewarded, and you'll be seen as a top player. And that was always my motivation. So I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it was very simple. Just to take my team, be the best that I could, and take my team to be the best that we could.
Well, it's been few exciting weeks since Conte has taken the charge. Now, in your opinion, what is the kind of energy he's brought into the team?
Yeah, I haven't worked with Conte. I've not worked with him. Everything I'm talking about is from what I've seen, previously, and having brief conversations with some of the players. I think the attention to detail is very similar, and what he expects on a daily basis in training. He expects both of them, I know, expected every player to come into training to work their hardest, with the aim to be the best that they can be. And, that's every day, behaving like a top professional on the pitch and off the pitch. And I think that both these managers have similarities in that respect. And they're both confident that if the players, give everything that they can give to the team, that they'll be winners.
You've had brilliant relationship with Jose Mourinho. He's been one of the best managers of the EPL. Now, in your assessment, what is that one distinct quality that he possesses which others don't? And mind you, he's got a great following in India. No,
I think like all the top players, top managers, they're bad losers. So a defeat, was never nice. He was never happy when the team lost, and understandably so. But with Jose, extra, it made him extra determined throughout the week. But again, that was his passion, and you could see why he reached the top, because he really didn't like losing.
Well, fans want to know, you were the assistant manager to Jose Mourinho. What was that one little problem that you faced? Was it the 2 o'clock phone calls in the night, or was it tough Portuguese accent?
Well, I think we've all seen his passion, the passion that he brings. Kicks every ball with the players on the sideline. I think that energy that he brings will transfer to not just to the players, but to the fans. And he's a winner. He's won every level that he's coached at, and as a player, he was a winner. So we're hoping he brings that mentality to this group of players, and we see them playing at their highest level, highest levels possible. And hopefully, the aim is to obviously be competing within the top 4 clubs, as well as competing for all the trophies.
Well, we've spoken about the similarities between the two great managers, Jose and Conte. Now, what are the things that set them apart, in your opinion?
Yeah, I haven't worked with Conte. I've not worked with him. Everything I'm talking about is, from what I've seen, previously, and having brief conversations with some of the players. I think the attention to detail is very similar. And what he expects on a daily basis in training. He expects both of them, I know, expected every player to come into training to work their hardest, with the aim to be the best that they can be. And that's every day, behaving like a top professional on the pitch and off the pitch. And I think that both these managers have similarities in that respect, and they're both confident that if the players, give everything that they can give to the team, that they'll be winners.
Finally, another question from a fan: how has Jose managed to shape your career in the last few years?
I think like anything, you always learn it along the way. You take you try to learn from the good parts of people's games, and as well as the things where you think, maybe I'll do something slightly differently, because I think it's always important to be your own person and have your own style. But for sure, there's so many tricks and so many things that you learn along the way, and just to handle players is a big part of the game now. Your man management skills, and that's something that I've seen. Working with Jose and how he handles that. I forgot how often players want to speak to managers. Obviously I've been a player myself, but one thing for sure is that players they always want to speak to the manager about an issue. So the manager has to be there to be able to speak and to help players in all aspects. On the pitch and off the pitch. So. For sure, it's been a great learning curve, and as I say, I've learned from lots of different managers throughout my career.
Well, it's time to roll back few years. What has been your most favorite moment on the field?
I think, the record, it wasn't really something I ever thought about, having the record. Probably until after I finished playing. And then, I probably enjoyed it a little bit more once I was finished playing. But for me, being a defender, any chance I got to make a very good tackle always gave me a very good feeling, because that was my job to help the team. But ultimately, I think, anytime you score a goal, I think that's probably the best feeling that you can feel on the pitch. So yeah, I was lucky enough to score against Arsenal, our biggest rivals, a couple of times. So I'd probably say they were my best feelings on the pitch.
Well, another question from a fan. Where did this brick wall, your nickname, emerge? Was it from the Pink Floyd famous song, Another Brick in the Wall, or the Great Wall of China?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it comes from, but I understand it. It's often referred to as a tough defender to get past. I'm not sure where it comes from, but I see it as a compliment, and it's definitely a good thing for a defender to be. Yeah, for sure.
Well, this is for the Indian context. India has to move mountains to come back in the mainstream of the football. Now, in your opinion, since you've crossed so many hurdles, what is it that India as a team, Indians as fans need to do and rally around to make as a successful football nation?
I think for me, it's always very important to when you have a passion, to work on it. And I think to get to the levels of top professionals is something that you have to do every day. You have to be committed to train and to work every day. Every player that I've ever played with, and I'm sure the players now, they would have played football every day as young kids, and really that is how you improve. Just playing every day, naturally you improve, you get better, and step by step you kind of reach the levels that are required to play at the top level. So it's always key to make sure you play. It's not something that you can play once a week and expect to really get to the top levels. You have to play or practice every day.
Ledley, your videos are followed here with great interest, especially your prank videos where you play pranks on the fans taking a beautiful tour of your wonderful stadium. Were you a prankster in the dressing room when you were playing?
Was I a prankster? No, I wasn't. There was always people that were more pranksters than I was. To be honest with you, I was always quite serious whenever I was around football. Before I went to go out to train or to a game, I was generally quite serious. Away from football, I think you can be a little bit more of a prankster. But anytime I was in the football environment, I was always focused and thinking about my performance and what I had to give.
Ledley, your stadium is an architectural marvel, one of the best places to be and experience while watching a football game. Now, what is it that makes it so special?
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate enough to be able to take some fans on a stadium tour. So I get to see their reaction close up, and most fans are blown away by the stadium. The quality of the stadium, the atmosphere that the stadium generates. One of the things we do on the tour is actually get the fans to shout out into an empty stadium, and you'd be amazed how 20 or 30 people can make such a loud noise that goes around the stadium. So they can only imagine what the atmosphere is like when you have 60,000+ in the stadium. But for me, obviously, the fact that the stadium retracts and we're able to use it for obviously the NFL and other purposes is an iconic thing, and something that blows a lot of our minds as people connected with the club, fans, the fact that we're able to do that and put on events away from the football side of things. So, as you say, it's an iconic stadium in London and, in the world for sure now. And, it's definitely a place to come and visit.
It's very reassuring, Ledley, that the Indian fans love your stadium, because every sixth fan that walks inside your stadium is an Indian. And the fans loves the Indians back because your festivities and all your messages are written in the Indian languages. Now, according to you, what is it that you personally love about India?
I think a bit of everything, for sure, cricket, food. I love Indian food. There's a few things. Obviously, Bollywood springs to mind as well. I've watched. I've watched a few. I've seen, but some Bollywood clips and bits and pieces, and that's always that always looks fun. The movies look fun, and obviously the music and the dancing is great to see as well. So yeah, there's a few things. But yeah, as you say, there's the support out there. They're growing. Our fan base is forever growing. I think we have 17 supporters clubs out in India, which is fantastic, and it's great. It's great that we're able to kind of spread out to different places around the world, and we're very thankful to have them 17 supporters clubs in India, and hope to keep growing them, and obviously to hopefully come over and show our support, in the future.
Well, this is an important one, Ledley. The love and support that India gets from EPL is immense. Manchester United recently admitted that they were in fray to buy an IPL team. Now, do you think Tottenham Hotspur at some stage in their life will look at India and buy perhaps an Indian team?
Yeah, who knows? I think, as you say, the fan base is forever growing out there, and if that continues, then of course we have to look into India and what potentials we have out there to work together out there. So for sure I would say that it could be something that we see in the future.
Well, this is about dressing room. We see a lot of smiley, happy faces inside the dressing room and on the pitch. Now, what is that one success formula that keeps those high fives going?
I think it's a great environment. The training facilities, the training centre is, it's one of the best in the world. Again, it's a place where the players have everything at their disposal to come in and work and to train and to be happy and to be the best. And it's a group of players that most of them have been together for quite a while now. They have great relationships, and it's also about making sure that you bring good guys to your football club, good people, not just good footballers, but good characters. People that are good to be around and have a good team and work ethic. And these are the kind of players that we like to have at the football club. So I think that that's what we're able to see on the pitch.
Well, this is about your skipper, Harry Kane. He's been one of the best players England has ever produced. You've seen him from close quarters. What do you think of him as a player and as a person?
Yeah, he's very, very focused, very disciplined, very driven to be the best that he can be. Having seen him close up, I know he works diligently on his preparation, all aspects of the game. And on the training pitch, he is someone that is always working on his game. After training, he stays out to do extra work. So it's not an accident that he's so good. It's because he's always had that work ethic to improve, and that's what he has done. From a young age, he's improved every year, really, because he continues to work and continues to find ways to evolve his game. So he's for sure one of the best in the world. And as I say, it's no surprise when you see how hard and how hard he works and how focused he is.
Do you think Harry Kane is going to be the saviour of the English football team in Qatar World Cup?
Yeah, listen, I think to win things, you always need Um, a goal scorer, someone who can make a difference. And as we say, Harry's for me the best in the world at scoring goals. So when you have that in your team, you always have a chance. I think it's a great group of players that the England team have at the moment. It's a group of players that are probably a perfect age now to go on and really do well in the tournament. They've had a couple of tournaments together now. They've grown under the same manager, and World Cup's never easy. But I think England are right there amongst any of the other favourites, I'm sure, going into the World Cup.
Well, apart from good memories, World Cup often brings big goodbyes, and perhaps Ronaldo, Messi, Ramos, Suarez, they all will be playing their last World Cup. Now, will the world be poorer when these guys say goodbye?
Yeah, I think every so often, of course, you lose some of the greats. Always sad, but I think when they are finished is when you can really get a chance to reflect and kind of say how great they were. These are guys that have played in many tournaments. They've always kind of looked after themselves and got the most out of their careers. And unfortunately, no one can play forever. So I'm sure that, it shows how good they are. That at these ages they can still play at the highest level. But yeah, of course, it would be sad to see them go. But as we know, there'll be a next crop of players that will be coming through, building up their reputations and hoping to have the same success one day.
Another fan asks you, what is it about Ronaldo and Messi rivalry? Because year after year, they keep on getting better. What is your opinion and view, because you've played with them and against them?
Well, I think that they helped each other. I think, they have a rivalry, a competitiveness. But I think that when they both finish, they will have the ultimate respect for each other. I think they've pushed each other and driven each other on to try and outdo the other one. And yeah, for me, two of the best players I've ever seen grace a football pitch. So, I'm just glad that I was in this era to really see them up close. Ronaldo played against a few times. And yeah, they're going to be two of the greatest players forever, really. Their names will be up there.
Ledley, since you've retired, who's been the best centre-back in your opinion?
I think Toby and Jan Vertonghen were two fantastic defenders that spent many years together and had a great partnership. And they're two of the best players to play in the Premiership for sure. And now, of course, we have a transition now. We just brought in Romero, who looks like he's going to be one of the best in the world. And there's other players that are still fighting to nail down positions. Also, Eric Dyer is someone who's transitioned to centre back in the last couple of years. He's learning. He's doing well. Jeffat Tanganga, Joe Rodon. We have players that are all competing for spots. So, but if I have to say, two players that have kind of, really played at the highest level, Toby and Jan, over the years at the club have really done that.
Ledley, when you were passing on, you saw the emergence of two new stars, Gareth Bale and Luka Modric. Did you expect the kind of curve that they had in their professional career?
Yeah, I think everyone has to adapt to when you come to a new club. You have to adapt to the new club, the new style of football. For Modric, he had to adapt to the Premier League. Bale had made a step up from Southampton to a Premier League club. We could see that as players, we could see their quality every day in training. But it took a little while for them to really reach their best levels on the pitch. But yeah, there was never no doubt in their talent. And for me, they're two of the best players I ever played with at Spurs. So yeah, there's no surprise that they went on to such success for Real Madrid. No, yeah, there's no surprise there.
Well, when we talk about Jamaica, cricket can't stay far behind. Your ancestors and your lineage goes back to Jamaica. Just take us through who's been your favorite cricketer when you were growing up.
I think, my granddad always, he used to love cricket, and I remember obviously Viv Richards was a god. I remember the bowlers. I remember Ambrose, Curly Ambrose was a beast. And then a little bit later on now you have Gal, who's does incredible things. So these are a few of my favourites.
Tottenham Hotspur's supporters have sent in 3 questions as they are thrilled to have you on our show. Now let's go to them and listen in their questions.
Hello Ledley, you're a true legend. Come on you Spurs. As a club ambassador now, can we expect to see you soon here in India?
Yeah, no, listen, it's one of the places on my bucket list to get to, for sure. I'd love to come to India, and for sure, I promise in the near future I will get to India. I will get to India.
Hello, Mr. Ledley King. It's such an honor to be speaking with you. My question for you today is, as the King of North London, who is the best attacker that you've played against or played with?
Attacker. I played with so many great players, but we mentioned before Bale. I think he probably reached the highest level of any of the attacking players that I played with.
According to you, what are the most underrated qualities that defenders possess?
I think concentration. I think it's something that you obviously, it's not something that you see that you can watch when you're watching a game, but for a centre back to remain concentrated throughout the game, even when your team is not having to do much defending, just to be focused and to be concentrated. Also, communication. So to communicate at the back is key. It makes your job a lot easier when you speak to the players in front of you and to the side of you. So they are definitely two.
Thank you, Ledley, for answering all the fans' questions. Here we are. Thank you, Ledley, for joining us from London. I hope you've enjoyed our show this week. Do keep watching us for next week for more guests and some international anecdotes and bigger stars. This is Sunil Yashkalra signing off on NewsX. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.